Life is like a video game. Sometimes you gotta treat it that way. And although it might seem difficult right now, if you might be a place where things are hard right now, the more you gain experience in this world, the simpler it can get for you. Once you start to understand the mechanics of the world and how things actually work, it won't get easier, right? Nothing is ever actually easy, and that's just my opinion. I don't think anything in this world will ever be easy. But if you understand the mechanics and if you understand how things actually work, then you can find a strategy, you can find a game plan for yourself. You can build a blueprint and find ways to actually break it down for yourself. You can break it down and get to a point where you can find ways to simplify it. You can simplify the system. You can break down the system and put it into a organized fashion, put it in an organized way where you're able to attack certain things. You're able to attack this world in a certain way, but you got to treat it like it's a video game, because in a lot of ways it actually is, right? There's a ranking system, right? You're able to level up in this world. There's also levels to this game. There's bosses, there's side quests, right? All these things, all this terminology that you actually hear in the real world that people talk about that might be used as a meme can actually be applied to the real world. And of course, every scenario, whether it's yours or mine's or anyone else's, actually is going to be different, right? Every person's scenario is situational. So obviously, your world is not going to be the same as everyone else's, but that doesn't mean that you can't apply the same principles and the same systems to your world. Doesn't mean that you can't break it down, right? Doesn't mean that you can't find ways to simplify the game for yourself, right? You got to think about it like you being at jobs. You got to think about it like that. When you're at a job and you start at the lower level, you start at the lower tier, and then you start to get new jobs that make you more money as time goes on, right? And that's just you leveling up, right? That's you going through that ranking system, right? The more you level up, right, the more levels that you go through, the more rewards the game is going to give you, the more rewarding it's going to feel, and the bigger the rewards you're going to get, right? The more you go through these jobs, these levels, the more money you're going to get paid, depending on what kind of job you take, right? And then there's also going to be other opportunities that are going to be placed within your world, right? And those would be the side quests. Those are things that it's up to you whether or not you want to go for them, right? They're going to be there, right? There's going to be doors that are going to be placed in your world for you to open. You can keep them closed, but there's also going to be hidden trophies behind those doors. So if you go through those doors and you go through these side quests, these opportunities, you have the option to unlock these hidden trophies for yourself. And you never know what this door is able to unlock for you, right? Because it may be that hidden door that adds to the overall game, right? That helps you, where you're able to equip new things. You're able to unlock new equipment for yourself that will help you go through the levels in life, so you're able to level up, right, a lot quicker, right? Depending on obviously what it is, what's behind these opportunities, what's behind these doors, what's what entails, right? What these side quests are all about. But it's all up to you whether or not you want to take on these endeavors, these new things. Or you can be where a lot of people are at right now in this world, where people are just stuck. They're stuck on levels, right? And people will be stuck on these levels for decades, for years, right? They're stuck in this one level that they cannot pass. Either they don't want to pass it, or they have no longing, no desire, right? They have no motivation or no discipline to want to get past this certain level. They're okay with staying there. They're okay with being still. They're okay with being stagnant. They're okay with fighting the same boss over and over and over again, staying in that loop of that level. And it's no wonder why some of these people drive themselves crazy. It's no wonder why after all this time, right, after they're stuck in this level for decades, for years, that after they quit that level, that they're tired, they're sick, right? They're not really enjoying themselves, right? Because they've been working at it tirelessly, effortlessly, putting a lot of work, right, into this one level for so long that it has completely depleted their lives. It's depleted their health, right? Their health bar, however you want to see it. You get what I'm trying to say. Their health is not there anymore, right? They've been at it. They've been at this fight for so long. They haven't been able to take care of themselves because of it, right? And this is the thing that leads to being unhealthy, that leads to misery, that leads to disappointment, that leads to an unhappy life. So that's why you should always strive, right, to want to level up and go through these levels in life. You should want to strive to continue to rank up, right? Not just for the rewards, right, but so you can understand the game, right? You can understand the game of life, right? And being stuck at a certain level doesn't mean that you're never going to get past it. You're probably stuck at that level for a reason, right? And it's there for you to learn, to understand why you're stuck there. The more that you're on a certain level, right, the more you understand the way the level is working, the more you understand the plan behind that level, the blueprint, the more you can gain, the more knowledge you can actually gain. And that knowledge doesn't become power unless you actually apply it to the game. And then that's when you beat the level. That's when you actually overcome that boss, whatever it is for your situation. That's when you beat the level and you move on, and you're able to then enter a new level with all the information that you just learned, and you can apply it to the next one and then the next one after that. But just know that every time you go through these levels, you're getting bigger and better. You're earning more, right? You're being rewarded more, right? Your knowledge, the arsenal that you have, the knowledge that you have within that arsenal grows bigger and bigger, and you just become wiser and more mature, and you're able to take those lessons that you gained from all these levels before and apply them to the new one, right? And that's how you just keep going. And you got to find the discipline, right? Not the motivation, because motivation is like a match. It's like a spark. It'll only last so long. So you have to find a way to keep yourself disciplined enough to keep fighting through the level that you're at, and then get past it, and then do the same thing for the next one, right? Because it's not going to be easy. But if you can find a way to understand the mechanics of the game, build a blueprint for yourself, and actually understand why you're there, you're going to be able to get through it. And it's not like you can never get through it. There's going to be that boss, right, that's hard to fight. Whatever that boss is for you, however you want to apply it to your situation. But that wall, that barrier, is something that you're able to knock down. It might not be straightforward, and you might have to find other ways around it, do these opportunities, right? Do these side quests, right? So you can gain more material and more information and more knowledge to be able to do it. But it's there for you, and it's waiting for you on the other side. It's waiting for you to claim those rewards. It's waiting for you to claim those trophies, right? Because I know that's what you want. And if you can put your mind to it, and if you can actually believe and not limit yourself, then the game is endless for you, right? There is no ceiling, there is no cap for you. It's limitless, and it's all on what you believe that you can achieve. And just remember that. Everything I just said is simple, not easy. Love y'all, man. Peace, y'all.